Did you know that in 2021, the government introduced a bill called the For the People's Act of 2021, intending to change the way the United States conducted their voting on election day and how politicians receive money for their political campaigns? Today, my purpose is to persuade you to pass the For the People's Act of 2021. As an American voter, it is important that each one of our voices is heard, and because I care about this topic, I have researched it and read about it extensively to keep current on the issue. I am a United States citizen who has the ability to vote. There have been times in the past where I have not been able to track where my vote has gone. I've been in boot camp before, and I was allowed to vote in the last election, and I did not know where my ballot went after I sent it. Some of you have heard the debate over the way that the United States have conducted voting in the past, and I believe after today, you will agree that passing the For the People Act of 2021 would be beneficial for the United States. With that in mind, I will begin with the problem, then I will explain some of its causes, and then I will conclude with my solution. With our roadmap in place, let's begin with the problem. The problem is some people opposing the For the People Act of 2021. For example, there are still many people from the same party who agree with opposing the bill. One example of this is on May 3rd, 2021, Common Dreams, a reader-supported, independent, nonpartisan, and nonprofit news outlet, who wrote the article confirming GOP fears, poll shows For the People Act. It states 0 GOP lawmakers back the For the People Act. Another example is that many people from different parties disagree with the For the People Act of 2021. One example of this is on January 19, 2021, Data for Progress, a nonprofit, nonpartisan political think tank who conducted a survey of over 1,164 people, found that 44% of Republicans, 32% of independent voters, and 23% of Democratic voters oppose the For the People Act. Together, these two examples show that some people still oppose the For the People Act of 2021 despite a large amount of evidence proving that this bill would be beneficial for this country. With the problem in mind, let's examine some of its causes. There are two primary reasons people oppose passing the HR For the People Act. The first reason comes from the belief that the bill would hinder upon the amount of money big corporations could give to running politicians in order to influence them. According to Jack Holmes, a senior staff writer for Esquire, a politics blog, he states $14 billion. That's the pile of cash that the Center for Representative or Responsive Politics estimates was spent trying to influence the 2020 elections. A lot of influencers, such as the CEO of Facebook, Elon Musk, Tesla, they have a lot of money. And in other words, what they can do with their money is crazy. They can be so influential, and they can convince others to say or stand for certain things, or even commit political candidates to their causes. However, in the For the People's Act, the bill strongly pushes for small donor matching, in which every dollar spent towards a campaign will be matched up to 6 times. So up to a value of $200. So if a candidate donated $200, the taxes would match up to $1,200. So what does all this mean? Although some people would like us to believe that passing this bill would be beneficial to this country, the bill allows for everyone's voice to be heard, which is exactly what a democracy is supposed to be. The second reason comes from the belief that there is no security in the election process when it comes to voting, mailing, or delivering voters' ballots, and that voting takes too long. According to the article, Congress must pass the For the People's Act of 2021, written by Vice President Wendy Weiser of Brennan Center for Justice, March 2021. It states, the federal government regulates colored pencils, which are subject to mandatory standards more stringently than it does America's electronic infrastructure. In other words, the security measures for the ballots and the votes that are taking place should be significantly higher than that of a colored pencil, which is so insignificant. However, in the bill For the People's Act, the bill states that a new system would be provided to voters, giving them tracking updates about the status of their mail-in ballots, allow for people to vote up to 2 weeks early, and updates the cybersecurity of election machines so that votes cannot be hacked or tampered with. Furthermore, in the article, For the People Act by the Voting Rights Lab campaign hub designed to supercharge the fight against voter suppression, it states, on election day for the 2020 general election, around 30% of likely voters took at least 30 minutes to vote. About 15%, more than 8 million voters, took an hour or more. In other words, voting up to 2 weeks early is essential for the American public, ensuring that everyone has adequate time to vote. The article also states that 83% of voters showed support for online tracking systems, including the status of their written ballot or electronic ballot. It stresses the importance of the need for voters to feel secure that their vote has been counted and verified. Placing more security measures in place, whether it be via verification measures or more cybersecurity measures, ensuring that people are safe with where their ballot has gone, ensuring that the For the People's Act passes is a must for democracy. With the problem and some of its causes in mind, let's turn to my solution. My solution, which is to pass the For the People's Act of 2021, offers two significant benefits. The first benefit is limiting the influence that big corporations have over politicians and political campaigns. Big corporations and big government go hand in hand. Businesses will start by giving the respected politician who is running for a position in the government large sums of money, up to millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, in support of their campaign, receiving in turn new government regulations that allows them to get out of taxes and spending, which in turn goes right back into their businesses. In the article, Small Donor Matching in the For the People Act, written by Gareth Fowler, a research associate of Brennan Center for Justice, March 2021, it states, the small donor provisions of H.R. 1 would use public funds to amplify small private contributions to participating federal candidates. In other words, someone who can only donate $200 to a cause might not end up donating because they wouldn't feel like it would be significant enough compared to these millions of dollars that corporations are spending towards their political campaigns. However, with the introduced bill, it would be matched up to 6 times. So again, if with $200, we matched it up to $1,200, ensuring that their voice has been heard. The second benefit is more security measures placed on election results. In the article For the People Act, Election Security, by Demcast, a non-profit advocacy organization, 2021, it states, a special type of audit of paper ballots called a risk-limiting RLA can confirm electronic votes counts quickly and decisively. In other words, the bill would ensure that the voters can rest assuredly knowing that their vote has been counted, and be confident to know where their ballot is currently at. Under the Election Assistance Committee, a governing commission, vendors who own election equipment must disclose to the body if their infrastructure exceeds 5% from foreign countries, and also adding cybersecurity guidelines, thus ensuring fairness, accuracy, and trust with the people with the machines. In conclusion, we must pass the For the People's Act. Let's review what we learned today. First, we learned that the problem is that some people oppose passing the For the People's Act, as evidenced by some people from the same party all agree that the For the People Act should not be passed, and that people from different parties all agree that passing the act would not be beneficial. Next, we learned that 2 reasons why some people oppose the For the People Act include the belief that the bill would hinder upon the amount of money that big corporations could give to a running politician in order to influence them, in the belief that there's no security in the election process when it comes to voting, mailing, or delivering voter ballots. However, we know now that small donor matching will allow donors to combat big corporations' influence, and more security measures have been in place to ensure integrity of election results. Finally, we learned my solution is to pass the For the People's Act of 2021, which offers two main benefits. One is limiting the influence big corporations have over politicians and political campaigns, and the second is ensuring more security measures will be placed over the election results. The truth is, the For the People Act, as we have here in this, on my computer screen, we have a slideshow, and it shows that the main components of HR 1 are highly popular among voters, and it goes through the different categories of why passing this would be beneficial for the United States. So it shows that some people, more than 50% in each category of the main components of this bill, more than 50% of the people agreed to pass it. So, in conclusion, we've learned a lot today, and the For the People's Act of 2021 has good intentions that can really fix the way that America's infrastructure and their voting and influence that people have over the election. As a registered American voter, I have dealt with the uncertainty of not knowing where my vote is after I have submitted a ballot. However, the evidence is clear. Passing the For the People's Act of 2021 would benefit every American, ensuring that their voice is heard. That is why I'm urging every one of you to pass this bill. Together, we can fight back against big corporations and ensure the security of our ballot. Please vote for this bill. Help me ensure that our democracy stays alive with vibrant ferocity through the influences that you can control through voting for the People Act of 2021. Thank you.